What's going on, Packers fans? Welcome to an at-home edition of the Packers Report. I am your host, Joey Petersen, and we got some more Micah Parsons trade rumors to talk about on today's show because yet another NFL insider named the Green Bay Packers when talking about top destinations or possible destinations for the Dallas Cowboys to trade Micah Parsons away to. We got a lot to get into on today's show. Before we do that, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? It's right down below. It's big. It's red. You can't miss it. Daily updates, news, rumors, anything on the Green Bay Packers right here on the Packers Report, all 100% free. Whether I'm in the office, whether I'm at home playing college football 26, I got y'all covered. So lock this in and hit that subscribe button. All right, let's start with a little bit of a backstory and everything that's happened with the Micah Parsons contract situation over the last couple of months, bringing to kind of what we've been knowing over the past couple of days and what has come out this morning. So it all started when apparently back in March, Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons agreed, handshake deal, to a new contract that would have, according to Jerry Jones, made him the highest paid non-QB in the National Football League. All of that is hearsay. We don't know if any of that's 100% true. And then his agent, David Mulgeta, said, no, you're not agreeing to a deal without me being in some parts of those conversations. For some reason, that pissed off Jerry Jones, as if he hasn't been an owner in the National Football League for the last, almost 40 years, 35 years, and he didn't know that the agent was supposed to be in that conversation, which is the rules of the new CBA guidelines. Regardless, I digress. That made him mad. Their talk stalled. Micah Parsons requested a trade on Twitter, posted a very, very long statement. Really, from the beginning, the Packers have been mentioned as a possibility for him to get traded to. We've heard some rumors from Ricky Scoops and even Ian Rappaport saying that the Green Bay Packers are the team that would be interested. Apparently from Ricky Scoops, the Green Bay Packers have offered something for Micah Parsons. I don't know the truth behind that, but I do know he just got the Brian Robinson Jr. news right yet again. Regardless, it brings us up to these last couple of days, okay? And Jerry Jones went on with Stephen A. Smith. They talked the Micah contract. Jerry Jones kind of told him everything he'd been telling everybody else, said that David Mulgeta told him to shove his deal up his ass. David Mulgeta came out in the last couple of days, or this morning, and said that he never even said that. And then Micah Parsons changed his profile picture yesterday to a Bible verse, and then was posting things of an Edgar Allan Poe, quotes from Edgar Allan Poe, being super cryptic. Jerry's saying they're not going to trade him. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. And then, what we're talking about today, Jeremy Fowler on ESPN, like talked about in the beginning, went on and said, in his opinion, teams that he believes are interested in the star edge rusher are the Green Bay Packers, along with the Baltimore Ravens and a couple other teams as well. So let's talk financials, because that's where this is all going to start. You're going to have to be able to pay him, and he's going to want to be paid upwards of $40 million a year. TJ Watt just got 41. I think Micah Parsons probably wants 42. And let's be real, he probably deserves it. He's a 26-year-old edge rusher, second or third most important position in the game, and he's the second or third best edge rusher in the game. And he's young. He's 26, so he deserves the money. Will Green Bay be able to pay him that money? As of right now, they sit around $31 million in cap space. It's about 12th in the National Football League, but they're only like $4 million away from being 6th. They're honestly in a really good spot in cap space right now. If you do trade for him, I believe that they would also add Rashan Gary in that trade, and so that would kind of offset a little bit with the amount of money you're paying him in his contract. So yeah, they would be able to afford to pay Micah Parsons, especially with the way that people are kind of negotiating deals right now, making it very back heavy so that way the cap hits don't set in until much later. And at that point, you get in there and you just extend them, and then you keep extending them and extending them and extending them, so you never really have to hit that cap space, of course, until it all comes crashing down at once. So financially, yes, the Green Bay Packers would be able to do it. Are they interested? I believe so, okay? Jordan Love went on with Kay Adams yesterday on the Up and Adams show. She was in Green Bay, and he talked about him recruiting Micah Parsons a little bit. They did a podcast together. He said he recruited him. We know they've been on trips together. Obviously, Micah also played with Sean Clifford at Penn State, so he's got some connections to the quarterback room in Green Bay. And also, everything we've heard, like I said, from Ricky Scoops, from some quote-unquote NFL insiders on Twitter, that the Green Bay Packers have offered something. And honestly, like I've said 100 times, this is really all I've wanted from Brian Gutekunst was to be interested, okay? And I'm talking Max Crosby back before his contract was done, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, TJ Watt. All I've been doing is say, Goody, just at least pick up the phone and dial Jerry's number. Now, Jerry might hang up. Jerry might not even answer your call, but at least try to float something out there. And I would not be surprised if that's happened over the last week. Would not be shocked one bit if Gutekunst got on the phone with Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones and said, hey, look, I know you're probably not going to end up dealing him, but what would it at least cost us? Okay? At least give me something that I can mull over and bring to everybody else in this front office. So I do believe that happened. Now, my take on if it's possible. I don't think it's very possible. If it happens, I think the Green Bay Packers are a top 3 team odds-wise that it would happen for. I just don't see it happening. Let's just recap on how Jerry Jones does these contracts. This is nothing new. If you're watching America's Team, they're documented right now on Netflix, which if I know you, you're probably not. But if you're just a sports freak and you intake anything from the National Football League and you're watching it, you see how they negotiated Emmitt Smith's contract the year after the Super Bowl. They didn't want to pay him as much as Thurman Thomas the year after the Super Bowl. So what did he do? He sat out 2 games. They went 0-2. Then they got his deal done. Jerry Jones has been doing this since 1995. He did it in 2019 with Ezekiel Elliott. Waited incredibly long. September rolls around. He signs him to I believe it was 4-year or 6-year, $90 million deal. And then 6 years, $90 million. And then CeeDee Lamb last offseason doesn't go to training camp at all. They wait really long to get his deal done. Dak freaking Prescott was no different with their QB1. $60 million a year, but guess when that got announced? Do you remember? You probably don't, because it was week 1, game 1, Sunday of the NFL season. It took them that long. This is no different. It's no different. It might seem like it's horrible right now, and these two sides are never going to come to an agreement. But if I had to put my chips somewhere, I would put them almost all in on Micah Parsons being a Dallas Cowboy this year, playing for the Dallas Cowboys this year. Now, the relationship might be beyond repair. I don't know. It does seem pretty damaged, right? Micah changed his profile picture on Twitter last night to a Bible verse. He's been cryptically tweeting quotes of Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know where they stand. It seems like David Mulugeta and Jerry Jones might hate each other more than anybody else on this planet right now. But money talks. Money talks, okay? And I get it. The Cowboys have the leverage of the franchise tag for the next, he could play on his 5th-year option. Then they could tag him the next 2 seasons. So Jerry's got leverage in that department. But also, Micah has leverage in the fact that if he's not out there on the field, that defense this year would be horrific. Their best player would be Osa Odighizuwa, their defensive tackle, without Micah Parsons there. Then maybe Deron Bland? They would be a joke if Micah Parsons isn't on that football field. And all it would take was them getting their ass stomped by the Philadelphia Eagles Thursday night on the road, and then maybe Jerry would get the deal done. It's going to require, like Jeremy Fowler today, a Herschel Walker type deal. That's what he said on ESPN. I don't think it's going to happen. If you look back at that trade back in the mid-90s, early 90s, that was like 5 draft picks it equated to. And so I'd be shocked, okay? But I would love it. I'm all for it. Make it happen. There is nothing, okay? Nothing on this team that I have as much trust in, nobody, at getting the quarterback as I do Micah Parsons. He could make this team elite. We all know that this game is won in the trenches. So, will it happen? We'll see. I doubt it. If it does, I'll have you updated right here. So make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. You'll find that in the links in the comment section down below. Also, a reminder, we will be live tomorrow for the final preseason game of the year, Packers-Seahawks. Don't miss out right here on the channel.